They don't see your sleepless nights. They don't see those hours when the world is quiet, but your mind is racing. They don't see you staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering if the sacrifices you are making will ever pay off. Doubters only see the surface, the version of you that shows up in the daylight. They don't see the silent battles fought under the cover of darkness. They don't see how many times you've turned away from comfort, how many moments of rest you've sacrificed because you're building something greater than yourself. It's easy for people to doubt you. It's easy for them to point fingers and say you're not enough. They do it because they never see the price you're paying. They don't see the nights you stay awake learning, practicing, failing, and starting again. They don't see how much discipline it takes to turn off distractions and stay locked in on your vision. All they see is the end result, if there even is one yet. And they think that's the whole story. But you and I both know the truth. The story is written in the hours no one applauds, the moments no one will ever post about, the sacrifices only you carry. When you're grinding through those nights, doubts creep in. You question yourself. You wonder if maybe the doubters are right. But here's the difference. You keep going anyway. You push through the exhaustion. You drag yourself out of bed when your body screams for rest, because something deeper calls you. That's what doubters will never understand. They don't see the hunger that makes you restless. They don't see the fire that refuses to let you sleep while your dream is unfinished. They don't see the heart that beats louder than fear. The truth is, your sleepless nights are your advantage. They are proof that you're willing to go further than others. Doubters don't see it, but they don't have to. Because one day, when your results speak louder than their words, they'll look at you in disbelief. They'll think it happened overnight. But you'll know the truth. It was built on countless nights of sacrifice when you could have chosen rest but chose to fight instead. And in that moment, their doubt will mean nothing, because your sleepless nights will finally be seen in the light of your success. They don't see your silent battles. They don't see the war that rages inside your head every single day. To the outside world, you might look calm, collected, maybe even ordinary. But deep down, you're fighting doubts, fears, and insecurities that most people could never handle. Doubters assume you're weak because they only judge what's visible. They don't understand that the hardest fights are the ones fought in silence. When no one is watching, when no one is cheering, and when it feels like you're standing alone. People don't see the mornings you wake up and feel like giving up. They don't see how heavy it feels to carry the weight of your own expectations, let alone the criticism of others. They don't see how many times you've stood in front of the mirror, questioning if you're good enough, if your dream even makes sense. They don't hear the voice inside your head telling you to quit, telling you you're wasting your time. That's the silent battle, fighting against the voice of doubt and choosing to believe in yourself anyway. Your silent battles are invisible, but they are shaping you in ways no one will ever understand. Every time you push past fear, you grow stronger. Every time you silence the doubt and take one more step forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Doubters think your strength is measured only by what they can see, your achievements, your results, your victories. But the truth is, your real strength is built in the moments they'll never witness. The days you keep moving when you feel broken. The days you choose courage when fear is screaming louder. That is what makes you unstoppable. And here's the irony. One day when success comes, they'll call you lucky. They'll say you were gifted, or that things just worked out for you. But they'll never know the price you paid in silence. They'll never know how many battles you fought just to reach that point. They'll never know the nights you cried alone, the mornings you pushed yourself out of bed when your heart felt heavy. That's the part of the story doubters don't see. And that's exactly why their opinions don't matter. Because while they're busy doubting you, you're busy fighting battles they couldn't survive. And that's why in the end you'll rise above them. They don't see the effort, they just see the result. Doubters are quick to judge because they think success is instant, like flipping a switch. They don't see the hours of sweat, the sacrifices you make daily, the pain you endure to keep going. They look at the final picture, not realizing the thousands of strokes it took to paint it. They see the mountain peak, but they don't notice the endless steps, the falls, the bruises, and the broken breaths it took to climb there. The truth is, effort doesn't shine in the spotlight. It hides in the early mornings when you wake up before the sun. It hides in the late nights when you're still working while others are asleep. It hides in the repetition, doing the same thing over and over again until you master it. But doubters don't care about that. They don't notice the grind because effort doesn't make noise. Effort isn't glamorous. Effort is lonely, exhausting, and often invisible. That's why most people quit. But not you. Every drop of sweat, every moment you choose discipline over comfort is shaping your future. The world won't clap for your effort. They won't cheer for your practice sessions. They won't celebrate the small wins along the way. They'll only wake up when the results appear, and when they finally see you succeed, they'll say, "It must have been easy for them." That's the biggest irony. They think success just happens. But you know the truth. It's built brick by brick, hour by hour, with effort no one else is willing to give. Your effort is your greatest strength because it teaches you what doubters will never learn: resilience, patience, and persistence. Doubters want shortcuts. They want success without sacrifice. That's why they can't see what you're building. They don't notice the long hours, the sacrifices of fun, the missed opportunities, and the constant grind. They only notice the shine when it's too late. And here's the best part. Your effort is proof that you're already winning, even before results show. Because success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. The effort transforms you. It builds a version of you that doubters will never recognize until the day your results stand in front of them. And when that day comes, they'll wonder how it all happened so fast. But you'll know it wasn't fast, it wasn't easy, and it wasn't luck. It was effort, the kind they'll never understand. They don't see how many times you failed. They don't see the rejections, the closed doors, the no's that cut deep. They don't see the nights you questioned if you should even continue. They look at the moment you succeed and assume it was smooth, that the path was straight, that somehow you just got lucky. But the truth? Your journey is carved out of failure. Every step forward came with a stumble. Every victory was built on the foundation of losses no one clapped for. Doubters are quick to mock failure. They see you fall and they laugh. They whisper that you're not capable, that you should stop embarrassing yourself. But what they don't understand is that failure isn't the end. It's the lesson. Every fall taught you something no book, no lecture, no advice could ever teach. Failure stripped away your comfort. It humbled you. It showed you where you were weak so you could grow stronger. And with every rejection, you built resilience. That's something doubters will never see because they never had the courage to fail as many times as you did. They think failure defines you, but in reality it refines you. Every mistake, every rejection, every closed door was a test. And every time you stood back up, you proved something important. Not to them, but to yourself. You proved that your dream is stronger than their doubt. You proved that your purpose is greater than your pain. You proved that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you refuse to stay there. The funny thing is, when you finally succeed, no one will remember your failures. They'll forget the countless times you tried and fell short. They'll erase the nights you cried, the mornings you forced yourself to keep going. All they'll see is the victory. They'll think it came easy, but you'll know the truth. It came because you failed and failed and failed again until you learned how to rise. That's what doubters don't see. They don't see that every failure was building the strength they could never measure. They don't see that the rejections became redirections, leading you to something greater. They don't see the courage it takes to stand back up when the world expects you to stay down. But one day, when your success speaks louder than their laughter, they'll realize that failure didn't break you. It built you. They don't see your inner growth. Doubters are only looking for visible proof: money, fame, recognition, applause. If they can't see results, they assume you've made no progress. But growth doesn't always show on the outside. Real growth happens within. It happens in the way you think, in the way you handle challenges, in the way you control your emotions when everything seems to fall apart. That inner transformation is invisible to doubters, but it's the very reason you'll outlast them. They don't see how your mindset has shifted. Once doubt and fear controlled you. Once you cared too much about their opinions. But now, you've built resilience. You've learned to silence the noise. You've discovered that the only approval you need is your own. That growth didn't come overnight. It came through pain, through rejection, through struggle. Every hardship forced you to evolve. Every obstacle demanded a new version of you. That's something doubters can't recognize because they've never gone through the fire themselves. Inner growth is about patience, discipline, and self-awareness. It's about learning to keep your vision clear when your path is cloudy. It's about building strength when no one is clapping. It's about training your mind to believe even when your circumstances scream otherwise. And that kind of growth is invisible. Doubters will say nothing is happening, but you know the truth, everything is happening. The seeds are being planted deep inside, preparing you for the day they bloom. And here's the thing. Inner growth is the foundation of lasting success. Anyone can get lucky once, but only those who grow within can sustain greatness. Your mindset becomes unshakable. Your vision becomes unstoppable. Your spirit becomes unbreakable. Doubters won't see it until the results finally explode on the surface. Then they'll be shocked, wondering how you became so strong, how you suddenly had the discipline and courage they never noticed before. But you'll know, it wasn't sudden. It was built in silence. It was built in the quiet hours when you chose discipline over distraction. It was built in the lonely moments when you decided to keep going. It was built every time you grew stronger instead of bitter. That's what doubters don't see. They don't see that success is born within, long before it appears without. And one day when they finally see the results, they'll realize that the real growth, the growth that made you unstoppable, was happening all along, where no one was looking. They don't see the fire within you. Doubters only see the outside, the tired eyes, the struggles, the setbacks. They think you're close to giving up. They mistake your silence for weakness, your patience for defeat. But what they don't see is the flame that burns inside you, a fire that no amount of rejection, criticism, or failure can put out. It's the kind of fire that keeps you moving when the world expects you to stop. They don't see how deep your hunger runs. While they're busy laughing at your small beginnings, you're already visualizing something greater. While they're mocking your failures, you're already planning your comeback. That's the fire. An unshakable belief that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise again. Doubters don't understand it because they don't feel it. They've never carried a dream so heavy that it refuses to let them sleep. They've never felt the pull of purpose so strong that it drowns out every voice of doubt. That fire inside you is what separates you from them. It's what drives you to keep working when no one is watching. It's what pushes you to sacrifice comfort, to endure pain, to keep going when logic says stop. They don't see that fire. They don't see that behind every rejection, your determination only grows. They don't see that every insult is fuel, every setback is oxygen, every you can't is gasoline to your flame. And here's the truth. That fire doesn't need to be visible to them. It's not their job to see it. It's yours to protect, to feed, to guard with everything you have. Because one day that hidden fire will ignite something so powerful it can't be ignored. The same people who doubted you will be blinded by the blaze of your success. They'll wonder where it came from, how you endured so much without breaking. They'll think it appeared overnight, but you'll know it's been burning all along. The fire within you is your greatest weapon. It's what makes you unstoppable, even when everything around you tries to hold you back. Doubters don't see it now, but they will. And when they do, it will be too late. Because by then your fire will have already turned into a force they cannot deny.